Women are passing away as the economy crashes. And, you know, we talked about this many times, but it's actually pretty insane. As we said, that women are passing away faster today. Women who are a part of the Gen Z generation and young millennials are passing away faster than women born in 1928. But there's some other startling information that's coming out. The information I decided to keep from the CDC, but what's very interesting is the economy is beginning to crash, and there is also a correlation with the life expectancy of women as well when it comes to the economy. Now, interestingly enough, women who work in adult work are actually a great predictor of the health of the economy, and they're actually beginning to speak out on the issue and the fact that the economy is literally headed over a cliff right now. More so, what they're saying is that based on their earnings, they're able to see that they can predict market crashes, and this is something that I learned about years ago. That adult workers are actually a great predictor of market crashes. We have a video for you guys. It comes from David Flanks. I'm going to link his channel description so you can go and check David out. There seems to be some really nice stuff on his channel. I really, really like the content. So go and check David out. Subscribe to his channel. Support his work. But we're going to jump into the video right now.
Huge recession. Here's how I know. We just got our 1099s back. So I'm going to show you what a bad year at the Mustang Ranch looks like.
This is Dase. She's a sex worker working out in Nevada. She recently posted a video where she reported that her income dropped 64% this past year and makes the prediction that a huge recession is coming. You're probably asking yourself, why are we bringing this up on an investing channel? Well, it turns out sex workers might be surprisingly good at predicting market corrections. In 2022, Twitter user Botticelli Bimbo, yes, I just said that, correctly predicted the economic decline that we saw later that year. Economists have taken note of this phenomenon, and they've even dubbed this the stripper index. In this video, we'll take a look at the veracity of the so-called stripper index to see if there's actual truth here or not, and to see if there's an impending market decline. And then we'll move into some portfolio updates and finally conclude with a deep dive on Lululemon, whose stock price was recently crushed. But first, it's been a busy week in the market. Some passengers are reportedly afraid to travel on Boeing planes amid their recent safety concerns, and booking sites such as Kayak now allow filtering out of Boeing planes.
I want to point something out to you guys. This actually makes a lot of sense because you have to think about this very carefully. What the adult economy is actually indicating is more so the simp economy. Think about it, guys. The simp economy is basically an economy where these idiots will spend money that they don't have at any given moment, right? So they will spend out all of their disposable income. They'll charge things to credit cards, and they'll only stop spending when it gets to a point that they are no longer able to survive if they keep spending. So the simp economy, and how these idiots spend their money, their disposable income, is a great predictor of markets ups and downs. Basically what we're actually tracking more so is not the adult economy, but the simp economy. So right now, the simp economy is not doing very well. And guys, this is going to be so pivotal because keep in mind, when you see what's happening with soft guy era right now, the simp economy is moving overseas. These guys are beginning to go overseas. They'll never stop simping, but they're beginning to simp overseas. The Filipinas are beginning to set up a bunch of different channels. Yeah, even on YouTube, where they kind of get a bit racy and stuff like that, and they're dragging those simps away. These Filipinas, listen, they're not perfect. They are still women, but they're not messing around. They're not messing around, okay? These Filipinas are not messing around. They are serious as hell. I'm just like in shock. Like they are really coming hard for what the American woman has. Like they're trying to take all of these men. They're not playing around. They're taking that. They're coming for that simp economy. These foreign women are coming for that simp economy. Okay, they want it. They want it bad, and they're gonna get it. But the simp economy and men and a drop in the amount of money that men are spending in this economy is a perfect indicator of the health of the overall economy. Because if the simps don't have money to simp with, then that means that the economy is not doing very well. This woman reported that she experienced a 64% drop in her earnings over the course of the last year when she looked at her tax return. That is a very, very big, that's a very, very big issue. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very negative when it comes to the adult industry, and I believe that only fools and lonely fans should be banned, and it probably will be. I guarantee you the DOJ, Department of Justice, is gathering enough evidence right now against the platform to go in and raid their offices and arrest a lot of those people, including the people who are making content for it, the people who own the platform, created the platform, and then the people who are making content for it. I would love to see those two digital pimps I think it was two guys who created that terrible platform, hauled off in handcuffs and spending the rest of their lives in prison. People, let's be real, most people would celebrate if those two jokers got locked up and spent the rest of their awful lives in prison for creating that disgusting platform.
A masterclass of crisis management, the company fired their CEO 9 months from now. That's right, in just the gestation time of a human life, this CEO, who has seen some of the largest and most serious scandals of aviation history, will be held to account. This confirms our hypothesis from an earlier video, link in description.
So we're going to just jump ahead in the video a little bit so that we can get to the part where they're discussing the 304s and how the 304s are going broke.
Asked if this is stinky. As of Thursday, shares are down 9, but is reporting this is tempting you to do. Their bills, food, energy, higher than some other macroeconomic indicators. When an economic recession is approaching, people tend to prioritize basic necessities over luxury expenses. Since the sex industry is the utmost of discretionary expenses, the thought is that sex workers can sense this reduced spending earlier than some other macroeconomic indicators. As labor economist Sanya Khan told Glamour magazine, when people have less discretionary money, going to strip clubs isn't an immediate necessary thing that they have to do. In recessions, people are spending more on the things they need, their bills, food, energy, gas. This sector of the economy is called non-discretionary spending. So, what can Dasei's prediction tell us about where we stand today? And more importantly, can we back it up with data? Unfortunately, by the very nature of the stripper index being an anecdotal indicator, we actually don't have a lot of options here. Looking to the public markets, the largest strip club conglomerate is a public company called RCI Hospitality, which I couldn't find any correlation between their performance and the market performance. If we look at more traditional macroeconomic factors, like the Consumer Confidence Index, jobs data, or consumer spending, we don't really have any indications that a market correction is imminent. There are certainly some signs though, and Dasei points them out.
There are people I've met that I cannot tell you about, and things I've heard that I can't repeat. But if my 1099 shared with you from last year was not enough for you to see the writing on the wall, let me share with you these things that I can. Bezos cashed out $8.5 billion in 1 month alone. The CEO of JP Morgan selling for the first time ever. Leon Black also selling for the first time ever. We got Zuckerberg out here selling the Meta stocks too. Walton family selling $1.5 billion. But wait, there's more. No, really, I could keep going.
But that doesn't mean that the stripper index is entirely useless. When I hear things like this, or other anecdotal indicators like the shoeshine boy indicator, I treat it like I'm hearing a funky noise in an engine. If you're curious about the shoeshine boy indicator, we actually talked about it in one of our last videos. We'll be sure to link it here in case you want to check it out. The funky noise in the engine example is pretty useful. If you were driving down the road and you heard a funky noise in your engine, you'd pull over and you'd investigate it. If you hear a sex worker talking about tips drying up, or anyone who works in a strong discretionary spending environment starting to struggle, then collect that data point and go check the engine. If we take a look at the economy, as of right now, there are no bleeding indicators that a crash is coming. We support Buffett-style investing, and it's his belief that you should never try to time the market. The fact of the matter is that no one knows when a crash is coming. But when people start claiming that something might be happening, it's worth it to stop and check their claim. I remain agnostic on whether or not a market crash is coming, but I do know that valuations seem high. I'm having a difficult time finding wonderful companies trading at fair prices. If we take a look at my public portfolio, I'm sitting on a lot of cash equivalents right now, mostly short-term government bonds. I took a position back in Disney. It was only about 5% of the portfolio, and it's done pretty well since then, but I'm searching really hard for my next company. So, where am I looking? Well, I get excited when the prices of my favorite companies start to fall.
Now, guys, I gotta say this. The reality is that things are very, very bad, and these 304s see the writing on the wall right now. The economy is terrible, and they've actually been playing with the numbers. We have been in a recession for quite a long time. You know, the economy has been losing millions of full-time jobs every single month, but because of how they've been, tracking employee data, unemployment data, they've been playing with the numbers to make it look like things are actually going great. When I was in college, business school, I went to business school. The professor told us, and he was one of the best professors in the university, he said that, I just want you guys to understand something. The economy exists entirely in our heads. If people believe that the economy is doing well, they spend money. If they think the economy is doing poorly, they stop spending money. Even if you have 10% of people unemployed, you have a 10% unemployment rate. Keep in mind that a normal unemployment rate is actually around 5%. So the actual unemployment rate is only about double what a normal unemployment rate is. Like a terrible unemployment rate is like, well, here, all right. So let me put it another way. Whenever you have an unemployment rate of, let's say, 6 or 7%, that's when people start to get really anxious. Like, oh my gosh, you have 6 or 7% unemployment. This is terrible. But keep in mind, a normal unemployment rate is around 5%. An unemployment rate below 4% is extremely abnormal. That's when you're now in the realm of one of the best unemployment rates in history, right? So even if you have an unemployment rate of 10%, that's only double what a normal unemployment rate is. And at that point, you still have it's a lot of people that are unemployed, but that's still a lot of people. That's millions of people. But keep in mind, 90% unemployment means that 90% of people still have their jobs. That's a lot of people who are still working, which means that if they believe that the economy is doing well, they're going to spend one way or another. And then take into consideration, even though you have, an additional 5% of people unemployed, those people are going to find other ways to survive. Many of them may become homeless, but a lot of them will do a variety of different things. They will file for government benefits. They will move in with family members. They will tap into their savings. They will file for disability. So even then, the losses to the economy won't be as significant as people believe they are. It's a sad reality, but it's true. Guys, don't forget also that I have another channel called Angry, where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interests me. There's a link to a description of the video. Go check it out. Go check the channel out. Subscribe to the channel. Support my work. And if you're enjoying the content on the Angry Guy channel and you want even more of the content, head over to the Men Walking Away channel. I post daily videos there. And you can find a link to the Men Walking Away channel in the description of the video. Guys, what do you think regarding this? Women are passing away as the economy is crashing. I want to know your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and